Did you like this guy?
I did.
Yeah, me too.
I did. So
Okay.
So when we get back, I mean, it's important for us tomorrow to go through, with the coaches in terms of their interactions with the players, how their interviews went, if there's any red flags on guys that we got to circle back on and make sure that we go either spend more time with them or bring them in the building, and then we'll go through, pro days where we want to send your guys,
right,
and try to do a balance between, you guys installing the playbook, what you got to do from a coaching staff standpoint in the building, and find that balance with, who can go where and when they can go.
Right. I think I marked these 4 guys down. We got to do individual workouts with these guys.
Those 4, yeah.
So we definitely got to send, I'd say, both of the position coaches out there.
Yeah, that one for sure. We'll make sure, and again, we'll just coordinate with, the coordinators in terms of when those guys can go out and,
No doubt. And then these 2 in the formal interview were really good. I think let's teach them our stuff.
Bring them into the building.
Yeah,
I think so too.
1 of the 30, if we can get these 2 would be good.
Because that guy's going to be in the mix at 5, and that's, second round, that's a guy we could target for sure.
And he did a good job, when he was in there with us on that formal.
Yeah, so when we get back, again, it'll be big. Just let your staff know the sooner they can, get their stuff down on pen and paper, we can go around and talk to them on the prospects and make sure, we start lining up the pro days.
Yeah, to me, if we got to go out there to, let's go out there and we'll figure out time to meet on a playbook. Let's get these guys looked at the best we can, and we'll work around that.
Yeah, exactly. And then Thursday, the free agent reports are due. So, there's going to be a lot going on next week. We had a lot to take care of as we get in the next step of the process.
All right. Anything else? You need anything else from our guys?
Nope. I think we're good. Appreciate all your coaches' work and effort. And I thought it was a good week.
Yeah, scouts did a really good job setting that stuff up.
Yeah, they really did.
It's good.
So, team effort. Yep. So, all right.
Good. Let's do it.
The NFL draft is considered an inexact science, but the steps leading up to that facet are precise. And the first major event on the calendar is the Scouting Combine in Indianapolis, a week-long showcase where prospects are put to the test and placed under a microscope. It's also an opportunity for Joe Schoen and his staff to set the tone for the offseason.
All right, guys, fire away. I look at the type of guys, we talk about smart, tough, and dependable. Do they have athleticism? Do they have strength? Do they have power? As you continue to build your team over the years, that's how you're allowed to create more depth.
It's all guts and no glory in the trenches. You kind of got to be a blue-collar worker.
I got family in New York and New Jersey, so good environment for me. I feel like I fit right in.
On the field, I think it's just a switch you got to have to play football.
In terms of 5 offensive linemen, they all got to be working together and in sync.
So what do you look for in an edge rusher?
Guys that can affect the quarterback.
I'm a very good football player, and I'm a guy who's very confident in my ability.
I've talked to the Giants. We had a great interview. They were kind of on me. They were giving me a hard time, but I feel like it was like that big brother moment where they give you a hard time because they're interested in you and they like you. So
the fact that we're back here at the Combine, we get those 45 interviews where you get them for 20 minutes, get in front of the kids and talk to them. That's definitely a priority of mine, to get around as many players as I can.
Investing in a player through the draft is a significant commitment. That's why the interview may be one of the most valuable tools in reviewing a prospect. Much like the game of football, it's a chance for both parties to get a strong read on one another. Every movement, every response could reveal a critical detail and add another layer to the draft process.
One of the main goals for our staff, coaching and personnel, is an opportunity to get around the kids. We can interview them, we watch film with them, we can clean up any questions we have from the fall that we may have on the prospects. And again, it's the coach's first exposure to the players.
Talk to me. Everything you see on this film, I want formation, alignment, assignment, technique, what you read and all that. It's play. Just go through it. Coach me up on this.
You're always trying to infuse good young players into your program, and getting to know them is critical.
You say you're pretty gritty. There's 3 words we covet here, the Giants. They're all important to us. I'm sure they're important to you, but I want you to rank them in order of importance to you. Smart, tough, dependable. What do you like best about football? There's no right or wrong answer. I want the answer that you feel best about. Okay, and what's your least favorite thing about it?
20 minutes in a formal setting with 45 prospects to find out, what they know about football, what they recall. We'll ask them some random questions to try to find out who they are, but really just trying to get to know, what their football knowledge is, while also trying to sprinkle in some questions to get to know who they are as people.
It's not a lot of time, but it's a good start, and you have fun with the interviews. You kind of see their personality a little bit, find out what they know in terms of their scheme, And then, you got to do a lot more work from now until end of April here.
And that work is spread across the board. Not only has Brian Daboll assembled a deep roster of evaluators to lean on, but the same could be said for Joe Schoen, who has his own right-hand man.
Hi, I'm Brandon Brown, Assistant General Manager with the New York Giants. The Combine is part of the process where you get to meet them, get your hands on them for the first time, and then just obviously see them move around and see how they have progressed on, call it the marathon, to the draft. I take very big emphasis on getting to know these players better, understanding what is their why, what has gotten them from point A to this point. Everyone has a different path, and you need to understand, what drives them, what motivates them, and what's going to keep them hungry when they get to the NFL. This is a part of a job interview for them. Their body of work is what they've done on the field, and then how they present themselves to an organization. In the interview process, I'm looking for the non-scripted answers. Every player is prepped at this point to a certain degree of, what are the possible hot button questions they may get, maybe some past transgressions that may pop up. For me, it's, how are they on their feet? What is their recall from what they did in the season, from missed assignments to high-level execution? What kind of accountability do they have for their actions? And then when we talk about these past transgressions, how have they grown? Is it just wordplay, or is there actual growth in terms of actions from it? And then taking that into the picture of, okay, is this person fitting what we want in our organization as key players? And when I say key players, is everyone has a role, and can they satisfy their role on the field and then in the building and in the community?
The Combine isn't just about analyzing potential future playmakers. It's also a chance to build chemistry between the coaching staff and front office. That's key when it comes to constructing a roster and pinpointing prospects that are an ideal fit for Big Blue. It's why Brandon Brown is studying up on the coaches as much as the players.
There's certain events in the calendar that allow us to all be on the same page, whether it's, the All-Star game period, whether it's the Combine, whether it's pre-draft workouts, and we get to learn each other's styles, right? It's one thing to understand what is called for in the scheme, but then seeing the application, seeing how coaches run these interviews, seeing what's the high-level importance for them. And then that's we like to call how to find players within the margin. It's finding, hey, what does this guy do really well that can be emphasized in this scheme, and what are his warts that won't show up as much for us that may be for another team. And we keep that information close to the vest, and as we go through and check boxes, we figure out which guys are our guys, which guys are New York Giants.
We are back in business in the 317, the crossroads of America, for the NFL Scouting Combine.
Start.
This is the music they're going to play?
Yeah. They should give them walk-up music.
Biggie or Tupac or something.
Oh, here we go.
This is his type of route.
That's the guy we like.
Run, buddy, run.
A lot of pressure down there.
This one's a good one to watch. Watch their hand placement.
There you go. Good.
Keep an eye on them through these gauntlets.
Ran pretty good through there. When you want me to kind of give you targeted guys to...
Every time.
Anytime?
Yep. This guy you just got to do something different with.
Oh, don't step on it. Ooh.
Different body type.
Good football player, though.
Who's that guy?
It's the guy I've been telling you about. You used to be able to hear a pin drop when they were running.
No doubt about it.
Me and Cowden used to go down there and throw this. Yeah, for about 7-8 years.
Really?
Yeah. It's actually the Giants' old tight end coach.
Pope?
Yeah. He was like yelling, throw it earlier, throw it earlier. I haven't thrown a ball in 6 months. Combine leads us into the spring, which is pro days, private workouts. So that's kind of the next step, followed by April, which is where, we'll really dig in with the coaches on the prospects that we give them, get their thoughts on them. We'll also let them know what the personnel department thinks, and just any unanswered questions we have, we'll really utilize March to go out and get around the prospects and get those questions answered. This is a guy we like. He's like a good, all-around player.
Hope will be yelling his stuff on this one.
Run, faster. Final decision.
I like both of them.
Yeah. Smart, tough, dependable.
There's a calendar here between now and the draft where, our coaches will be out with the scouts looking at pro days or individual workouts, and it happens quick.